Greetings and salutations, good people of YouTube. It's your boy Uncle Steve coming at you with another banger. Me myself, I'm personally a fan of like crime shows, like Forensic Files and Snapped and stuff like that, where it tells the backstory of different things that we hear on it or see on the news. And so in that mind frame, I came across this game called Her Story that kind of fits in that same genre and narrative. So it's a blind playthrough. I haven't heard anything about this game. I don't know anything about it. So we're going to check it out and see how it go. Let's get it. I can't tell if these are in any particular order or not. Stored in user database. I guess we're just gonna start from left to right. "11 seconds.
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
Okay. Clip number 2.
Yeah, that's me. But February, I mean, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder? I didn't murder Simon. You've got it wrong. You've got the wrong person.
I don't know who Simon is to her, but she don't seem too messed up about it.
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other, just that. Stories.
Add to session. What is that? $627.94. Let's continue to see where this goes. $7.94. So all of these on the same day? Oh no, let's say 1/7.
Yeah, that's me. But February, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
Oh, it's double playing them? Right mouse click and delete these? I mean, I'm really confused as to what I'm supposed to do on this.
They said it was food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too. They said it was the mushrooms. It was hard to believe. Death caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that. But, the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone. And no one had any reason to hurt them.
Wait a minute, when was this one? 3/6. So the next one's 3/7.
I was living in the attic. It was a very hard time. I was depressed, was still pretty sick of the STD. And I came down one morning and they were dead. They were in bed and both had been sick. They'd thrown up a lot. And I'd slept through it. The police said it was the mushrooms they ate. Dad was a mushroom expert. He used to take us picking with him and he taught us how to recognise them. And there's no way he would have picked death caps. But the police believe that's what happened. They never even looked in the attic. When you suspect someone of murdering their husband.
All right.
Okay. So you want to eliminate me as a suspect?
$6.27. $6.27. So these are all on the same day.
That should eliminate me as a suspect. If I was in Glasgow, can't be in two places at once. This is the third day running you've called me in. I speak to Doug and Eleanor every day. And they say you've been asking a lot of questions about me. Should I be worried? Am I a suspect?
Why is she smirking now?
Yeah. I've been round to Doug and Eleanor's and they're very worried. I feel sorry for them. I got a job to contribute, you know. Doug knew someone and I got a job as a dinner lady at the primary school. They said it didn't matter if I could cook or not, just don't poison the kids. So you see, it's always been complicated between me and Simon. It's never just been the two of us, there's always been pressure.
I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing with these clips. My assumption is that I'm supposed to be, I don't know, organizing these or trying to figure out clues within each clip. The only thing I'm drawing from it is her emotional state seems to be, she's a little too nonchalant, almost flippant when it comes to her husband and what sounds like his parents dying. But I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with these clips, like, at all, other than keep listening to them as they pop up.
I hoover my dust every week, maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust, and she said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week, but every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day. You know, ran an ordered house. You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front. She has secret stashes of cigarettes. Doug doesn't even know she smokes. When I was there, I saw her. She has these sort of porcelain vases, ornamental, next to the Reader's Digest books. Cigarettes inside. And she still has them. I mean, last time I was there, I looked in a vase. There was a fresh pack. I mean, all those years of marriage, and she still has a secret like that.
Interesting.
Okay. I parked up in the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You can tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out. I walked straight into the kitchen because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper, but he wasn't there. I touched the kettle, it was cold. I looked quickly in the living room, nothing. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom and he wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. I had a shower, the phone rang whilst I was in the shower. I didn't answer it, I think it was Eric. Then I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, though I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. This time I spoke to him. Then I called Doug and Eleanor. And then I decided to come and see you. Don't know.
Don't get no attitude. We just doing our job. I gotta find out who Eric is.
1984 was an awful year in the end. We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I lost the baby at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer. It was a hot summer, a heat wave. So when they discovered the bodies, it was just awful. Because of the circumstances, them dying together like that, they brought in a lot of police. A forensic entomologist. I had to look that up. It was because of the heat. It's just awful.
I want I'll find out what comes up under Eleanor, but I'm gonna see Eric first. "14 entries found. Access limited to the first 5 entries." Okay, so if I'm picking up what they putting down, I'm supposed to find clues and then store them in my session. I think. I'm not really sure. We're just gonna keep listening.
He was wearing a shirt, with a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat.
So Eric is the husband's boss?
Like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house. So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job. He didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come and see you. His parents haven't heard anything either. So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job. He didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come see you. His parents haven't heard anything either.
So supposedly, her husband Simon disappeared Friday night after they had an argument. They saw him at the bar Friday night, but ain't seen him since then. These are on the same day, 6/18.
Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked in the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back. Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one.
Normally pays with cash, but has a credit card.
Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
How do I get to the next ones? 14 entries found. Access limited to first 5 entries. 6/18, same day.
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work, mirror making, feature windows, artistic things, really beautiful things.
Works for a glass company. She say Simon Smith?
Simon.
Yeah.
Simon Smith.
Simon Smith.
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. And border photo. They said a spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have. It's the Rockington Arms, The Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with, and the barmaid they're having sometimes, Helen. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
What is the objective? The Rockington Arms, is that what she said?
It's the Rockington Arms.
Yeah.
The Rock.
So we'll save that one since that's the name of the bar. Gave his description, his name, who he works for.
Yes, there's an Amstrad one. No one uses it for very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it. Simon sometimes plays games, you know, climb the tower, save the princess, that kind of thing.
So common sense would tell me she's referring to a PC of some sort. Or a laptop.
Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something to him, or there must have been some kind of accident. So what do we do next?
Doesn't seem convincing at all. In the least bit. What did she say ran the... Was it this one? No, that ain't. Was it the Rockington Arms one?
He was wearing a shirt. It's a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch.
Okay, that ain't the video that I needed. Was it this one?
Yes, there's an Amstrad one. No one uses it for very much. There's a printer so you can...
Amstrad. I think she said something about a Susan.
It's the Rockington Arms, The Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan.
Peter and Susan. Okay.
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, I guess The Rock. We've spoken to everyone there. Someone must have seen where he went. I don't know.
You and
So many
Eric
things
killed
could
him.
have gone wrong.
She ain't convincing at all. Like, not even a little bit.
No, no one has been in the last few weeks. We had a plumber come in 3-4 weeks ago. Someone summoned you from the rock.
6:30. Nothing about Peter, nothing about Susan, the rock. $6:27. Or maybe I'm supposed to arrange these clips.
I thought it made you sound suspicious. It's not a normal thing to do to drive to the other end of the country. I wanted to keep it simple. I know it was stupid not to tell you everything. Saying I spent the night in Glasgow when my husband went missing, I thought it would, distract you from what was important. It's different now. Now he's...
Liar! You went to Glasgow to try to form some weak alibi. Ten entries found.
I got in the car and I drove. I just kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped, I was all the way up in Glasgow. I was so tired. I just had to sleep.
Did she ever say what her name was? I don't even think they said her name.
Yes. I got to Glasgow, I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past. I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from the payphone, and then headed back.
$627.94 at 4:21. $627.94 at 20:56. 8.
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste. That time, you must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then.
Too quick to be eliminated from it. Hold on. Didn't she mention that watch before?
He was wearing a shirt, a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
This one that she mentioned the watch in?
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric.
Okay. She way too nonchalant.
No, I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning.
She said it was deserted, but then she said a trash truck drove by.
When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I was driving badly. And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine. The hospital must have details when I was looked at. There's a scratch on the car.
Hmm. $2.7.
I don't see how it's hard. We've established I was in Glasgow when he was killed. You've spoken with the hospital.
She says she slept on the side of the road. She was exhausted. Now she done hit a taxi. Had to go to the hospital.
When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I was driving badly. And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out.
Hmm. Ten entries.
I got pregnant.
625.
Both our parents had a big powwow. We weren't even in the room. And they decided we should get married.
Never a reason to get married, but I hear you. This same
Yes.
she wearing different clothes.
I won't be sick again.
Oh no,
This
that's a
happens
different
some
day.
days. I'm pregnant. It's morning sickness.
Okay, that's 2 days apart. 625, 627.
No. Well, yes. You found out on my birthday. I told him I was pregnant.
But is it his?
It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince, and Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. So she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind. But she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
What's the point, though? went to the session just because an award popped up for a happy ending. I don't even know where to go from here. I didn't see if she had anything on Eleanor. 6 entries.
Yes. I speak with Eleanor at least once a day. Not that there's anything much to say. It's more just... No. The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen. You can probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape, but I think it was ours.
So dad was a mushroom expert, yet him, is it her dad? I guess it's her dad and his wife that ended up killed, poisoned from the mushrooms, and then her husband is missing. She way too nonchalant. Story seemed kind of all over the place too. So it's definitely foul play. Nothing in cause of death. Just put in hospital. 2 seconds.
Ask the hospital.
Don't even know where to go from here. Oh, you gotta stay within this database? I thought there was something on the main screen you could get to. Introduction to the logic database. Computer technology is the backbone of modern police work. The logic database is one of the many continuing efforts to digitize our workflow and preserve evidence in a manner which will allow you to work more efficiently. In the coming years, the computer will continue to be most valuable item in your crime fighting toolkit. This database contains footage transferred from the existing homicide and serious crime tape archive at Portsmouth. Excuse me. It has been automatically sorted using our ASR technology. Each statement made by the interview participant is stored separately so they can be tagged for submission to court. The audio has been digitally stenographed and the content of the testimony is attached to each clip. To retrieve a clip, type in a keyword, or type in a word, keyword, same thing, into the search field. Click search and then the database will return all clips in which the speaker uses that word. To narrow a search, use multiple words. Robbery supermarket. If you're working from a printed transcript, you can be even more precise. Use inverted commas to search for an exact match against the entire statement. E.g., yes, I was there. To store a clip for later reference, click add to session. Also, if you wish to add additional tags of your own to help future searches, please click on the user tags box and type in your desired tags. For any further assistance, please contact your department's information technology representative. Police Information Technology Organization. So you can click on these other things. Here's the database. I filed a Freedom of Information form to get you guest access. Everything seems to work. They transferred the videos off the original tapes in 1999, and then the Y2K thing hit, they got mothballed. No one has touched them since. I could find the server with the detective's footage on. Possibly those tapes got damaged when the old archives were flooded in 97. But figured this would be enough. Take your time. SB. Who is SB? Southeast Constabulary. The heck is this? Database checker. Okay. Rubbish in a bin. Hack info. What, I feel like somewhere somehow we gonna need this. Because right now it makes no sense. Okay. So I'll put it in hospital.
A police station. Yeah. When I was young, we ran away on my birthday. Bob Dylan was playing in London and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him. The taxi driver we paid to drop us off, I mean, we'd saved money, pinched a bit here and there to pay for the fare. He was suspicious because we were so young, so he told the police. So they came and picked us up and took me back to Portsmouth. My mum picked me up from the station. But I blamed everything on my friend Eve. So my parents let me off.
Back in the orange fit, 627.
It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Sam's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there, about the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff we never needed, and I never had the heart to throw out. And I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back, and that's when I saw the bin bags. Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed, and that's when I called the police.
Was that just me, or was there an image that kind of, or the silhouette of an image that kind of popped up when that lamp flickered?
When will the police let me back in the house? And they let me take a bag of clothes with me, but Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road. I walked up to the house. I knocked on the door. No answer. I took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. I could tell because the key wouldn't turn when I tried to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes on the shoe rack. I shouted out for him. I walked straight into the kitchen. He usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper. He wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly into the living room. Nothing. I walked upstairs to the bedroom. He wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. Then I had a shower. Whilst I was in the shower, the phone rang. I think it was Eric, his boss. I didn't answer it. Then I came out and I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, but I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. I spoke to him. Then I called Simon's parents. And then I decided to come and see you. Is that enough? The bruise. I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes. I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policemen. I found the body.
She lying. You got a bruise?
His body. It didn't look real. And his throat. It looked like his throat had been cut. And I didn't see his glasses. He has these thick glasses. He doesn't always wear. Really? Okay. Here's the rest. Oh, they laid a body on the dock tonight. Oh, the wind and the rain. Till a fiddler with a fiddle came walking by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of her long hair. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made fiddle pegs of her finger bows. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made fiddle pegs from her finger bows. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle out of her breastbone. Oh, the wind and rain. The sound could pierce a heart of stone. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. But the only tune that the fiddle could play was oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, the only tune that the fiddle could play was oh, the dreadful wind and anything you sing may be used as evidence against you.
How do we end up with just a random song break in the middle of an interrogation? That's weird.
Can you imagine?
Like an episode of Full House.
I tried to get pregnant too, but it didn't happen. I slept with so many boys, men. My body refused. I think my period stopped because hers had. I was pretty though. I mean, how could we stay the same now? I felt like Hannah had really fucked things up. Set us down separate paths. We had become different.
It was Hannah. And she for the streets. That is a silhouette of somebody. I just seen it. Thought I was tripping. Entries on Hannah. Who is Hannah?
My name is Hannah.
Oh.
H-A-N-N-A-H.
I was wondering what her name was.
It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work if you mirror it though. It's not quite symmetrical, but well, I mean, you get the idea. Sorry. Hannah Smith. I live at 31 Gladstone Street.
Why she say Hannah like Hannah wasn't her name? She said Hannah really effed things up, but that was like she spoke in third person now. I feel like somehow I'm gonna have to arrange these clips. I wonder if you put them in date. If you put in the date, will it give you? Well, it only gives you 5 at a time. So even still. You're having the first 48 moment.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
Bring her a cigarette and a cup of coffee. She'll talk. Thought she's about to make a beat. You killed him.
Yes, my name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry. Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence. When Hannah was born, I was born at the same time. The midwife was there to help. I'd been throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead. But I wasn't. She wrote all this stuff in a diary. Amazing what people will admit to on paper.
So is she a twin? Because that's the second time that she said her name was Hannah Smith, and then she referring to Hannah like this is a whole nother person. What is going on? This shit crazy. Either she Hannah or Hannah is an alternate personality that I feel like poisoned her parents and killed her husband, because maybe this baby that she was pregnant with that she lost caused her to flip out. Sound like she be having manic episodes and then blacks out and don't know what happened. I think she keeps saying sleep, but to me it sounds like she is blacking out almost. Interesting.
She recognized me from the window. She told me to come inside and she hid me. They had made the attic into a place where Hannah could play. There was a dollhouse. She hid me up there. No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place.
Who is her? And why they keep showing this creepy chick's face in the back? It's making me uncomfortable.
Okay. There's a girl and she's staring out of the window. She's sad. She's trapped. She's here. She's looking out the window because her mother won't let her out.
Okay.
She's crying, I guess. She's sad because she thought she saw her husband with another woman. But it's okay, because she finds out it wasn't her husband, it was his brother. And so it's fine.
That was the look of a crazy woman. What are they showing her? Like, come on, bro.
Okay. She's being chased. They're trying to catch her because she did something bad. I guess she broke the rules. Or maybe they think she did something bad. Maybe it wasn't her fault. She looks scared, not guilty. Maybe it was mistaken identity. Did they catch her there? I don't know.
Interesting. Go back to this watch. See if anything pops up. 5 entries, 3 videos I haven't watched.
I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to Come Back and Stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but I loved it. I chose it. I mean, it was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before. It was probably awful to watch, but I enjoyed it. It felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us.
Just the two of us. You lying.
Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once and I held Eve's head underwater.
Where's Eve?
There was no one else around. It was at the far end of the beach and I held her head under and I kept it under. And for a moment, I just wanted to kill her and watch her drown. But that was it. It was just a moment. We made up after. It was a love-hate relationship.
sure that's not something you're supposed to say in a police interrogation, but okay.
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us so we could then disprove it rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch to make sure the alibi stuck. Well, my friend Eve. I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid, and she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it. I mean, really hate her sometimes.
So Eve is her friend. That explains that.
My mother called me Eve.
What?
My mother called me Eve.
So she said Eve was a friend, then her mother called her Eve. She said that her name was Hannah Smith, but then Hannah helped her, or Hannah had something to do with something else. I am confused. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end the video right there. This is actually kind of interesting, more so than what I thought. My approach to the game may be completely off, but I'm interested to find out what happened and how to solve this thing. So if you guys agree the same, smack that like button. Leave a comment too. Let me know if you want to see more episodes of this or not. I'm interested. So until next time, this your boy Uncle Steve signing off. Much love, much respect, and ho what you got.